Of course, we get to have conversations right here on Money FM, your business talk radio station. Very important conversations, of course, with regards the future. Right here on Money FM, your business talk radio station. And I've got you covered as far as great radio is concerned. My name is Bushizia, your radio buddy and best friend. And of course, we are live on our Facebook page, and I am joined by Christopher Muiza Mapulanga, who is an international renewable energy expert, and just gets to share with us a little bit more with regards to what is going on in the energy sector, and more especially renewable energy. Now, first of all, let's start off with the traditional ways that we have our traditional sources of energy across the African continent, and are we really contributing that much when it comes to climate change?
Thank you so much for having me, Buchi, and Money FM. It's great to be here. Very good question. Ideally, in terms of Africa and Zambia, to be specific, we've been highly reliant on hydropower for decades. And because of the global warming effects and climate change, we've had different rainfall patterns that have been affecting our power sources. And another eminent point I'd like to add on is the fact that obviously we've got a growing population in the country, and industries are growing. So there's various need for us as a country to use various sources of energy applications. And going forward, renewable forms of energy are playing a vital component to ensure that there's more sustainable living and more growth across the country. So it's not just renewable forms of energy specific in terms of solar, but there are other aspects that we need to go and get involved in as a country. These include nuclear, vis-a-vis biogas, solar itself, and other forms that will ensure that we have a sustainable form of living.
All right. Now, in terms of, first of all, let's look at the contribution of energy to global warming. How much does energy, or is energy a major contributor to, say, global warming in terms of people's efforts to try and have a form of energy in their households?
Yes. Various forms of energy are contributing to global warming, especially fossil fuels and carbon emissions. As you're aware, we've been using a lot of petrol and diesel to run our industries, to run our homes, to get from point A to point B, and these emissions are causing a lot of factors to global warming and climate change. And when it comes to Africa, we've been highly reliant on charcoal. There's a lot of deforestation that is going on about. And it's the reason why we're having these climate change issues. And there are various factors that we're able to notice. As you're aware, when it's supposed to be cold, it's a bit hotter. The rainfall patterns, there's a bit of drought going on around, and generally just our planet is getting hotter. So all these emissions that are being, for instance, for you to go to work, you're probably driving from one point to another, and the vehicle you're using is producing a lot of carbon emissions, which is affecting the climate as well. So I think there are various industries right now that are trying to mitigate this factor. I'm sure you've heard of the likes of Tesla and electric vehicles. Just the other day, the president of DRC was in the country, signing agreements with His Excellency Hakainde Hichilema to ensure that we get involved in electric components for vehicles, which is a very critical factor when it comes to trying to reduce carbon emissions. And we as a country are endowed with resources such as cobalt and copper, which are components of these electric vehicles that are going to mitigate climate change in terms of carbon emissions. The likes of DRC also have lithium deposits, and lithium is a component in terms of batteries for electric cars. So some of these resources that we're endowed in are going to ensure that we're able to to mitigate this climate and global challenge that we actually going through at the moment.
All right. Now let's look at solar now, which is our main focus and our main area of discussion for the day. First of all, tell us a bit about solar energy, what it is. Just share with us in as simple as possible, so that we're all on the same page. Do not speak Greek.
For layman's terms, solar is a renewable form of energy that is able to ensure that you're able to do your farming. Me and you are able to communicate. For instance, where I am right now, there's a bit of a power issue, so I'm using a battery, a solar powered battery charger to charge my phone to enable to communicate with yourself. And in regards to farming, there are solar submersible pumps that will ensure that farmers are able to irrigate and add to the food basket. Also, there are solar pumps that are able to ensure that there's the aid with mitigation of farming in farming areas. It's also providing a component in regards to your basic power. So, for instance, you've got your solar panel, then you've got your inverter, and you've got your batteries. So your batteries provide storage, energy storage for your power. So, for instance, in a home, if you don't have access to power from for instance, from your ZESCO grid, or you're actually just off grid, solar gives you access to, for instance, you're able to have your fridge running, you're able to have simple lighting for you to read, and offer brightness even just for security. It also enables factors such as I know I've mentioned farming, I've mentioned energy sources. It also provides for industry, which I think is a cardinal factor these days. I'm sure you're aware that organizations such as FQM are getting involved in solar because they've realized the need with hydro. Because in Zambia, hydro basically is just the water component, and we have, as a country, using the turbines at Kariba and our rainfall patterns, you're able to get energy from your hydro sets. So solar is energy from the sun, and then using your panels, you're able to drive that energy, which can be stored in form of batteries. And it can be used for various forms, for heating of your chicken pens. For instance, there are several areas in the country, areas like Ipafu in Chingola, areas in Mukushi. Chicken farmers are using the heating aspect for the infrared lights to ensure that their chicks are warm during this cold season, instead of using charcoal, which, as you're aware, is a carbon emitter. For rural settings, even urban settings, there are children going to school, using solar lamps to read. For clinics, also, it's providing lighting for maternity wings in areas where there's no power. And a critical factor is that in urban areas, solar is providing and mitigating the cost of power. Because right now, as you're aware, with electricity is costly, and you're able to mitigate the cost of electricity using solar. So to reduce the amount of money that you're paying for your ZESCO, you can use solar as a component to ensure that recurring cost does not affect your livelihood and reduces your cost per month. And other roles solar is also playing is that very soon there will be initiatives that are being introduced, like fit into the grid. So you'll be able to earn extra money by selling your extra solar power to the grid through ZESCO. So some of those aspects are getting into play. And recently, obviously, there was the COP event that happened, and there were a lot of heads of state that are part of the Sustainable Development Goals, 2030 goals, that even as a country that we are playing in, Solar is providing some of those factors. So in simplicity, in layman's terms, it's a renewable energy resource. It's sustainable, and it's improving lives and ensuring that we're able to live clean and healthy lives
Yeah.
across the country and across Zambia, and even Africa as a whole. We've got
All right.
specific
I
example.
am Blanga, who is an international renewable energy expert, and of course, he is sharing with us on solar energy today. And just getting into just looking at some of the what gives solar the advantage over any other form of energy. What are some of the advantages of solar energy over any other form of energy? Especially for people that are maybe right now listening to us from their farm and they're thinking of how am I going to source my energy for the farm? Should I get Zesco? Should I get solar? What are your what are some of the advantages of solar energy that you would put over any other form of energy?
So, the advantages are numerous. For farmers, you find that if you look at the cost of connectivity right now to the grid, there's been an increased cost of connectivity. So, you realize that it's getting costly for you to connect to the grid. And one thing you should also realize that you've got a recurring cost with your normal power. So with solar, you obviously you've got an initial investment, which is substantial at the beginning, but as you go by, you don't have a recurring cost. For instance, if you're using a genset, you will notice that you invest in the genset as a tool, and then you've got your recurring cost of fuel. But with solar, once you invest in the equipment, it could be the pump, it could be the panels. You find there's longevity. You normally have 20 years on the panels, 25 years on the panels in terms of the lifespan, and there's no recurring cost. So you're not paying for diesel, you're not paying for electricity. You've got that free access to energy over the course of the years, which will allow you to grow your business as you're able to save on your energy cost. As you're aware, for any business, your energy cost is a substantial cost, and it's recurring. It's something that costs you as you go by in the business. It's part of your vital elements. So as a business, you're able to grow if you're able to save money in regards to the energy resources that you're using. So vis-a-vis whether it's electricity, you find that solar eventually is more cost saving because you're not paying any cost to the national supplier. Once you make that initial investment, you have no recurring cost. And vis-a-vis on a diesel machine, you're not paying for petrol as you go by. And another cardinal factor is the fact that we are human.
All right, this is Money FM, your business talk radio station, and of course we are having a bit of a network challenge, and I think it's on the other end. And of course, the conversation continues. We're still looking at the advantages of solar energy over any other form of energy. Right here on Money FM, your business talk radio station. And yeah, I am chatting to Mr. Christopher Muiza Mapulanga, who is live from across the country. And of course, we are sharing on a couple of insights. If you are looking to invest in a form of energy for your business, especially if you are in a very far area, you might want to consider solar power, and that could be a way for you to actually get your business running right here on my FM. So we're looking at renewable energy, but also effects of climate change on or effects of renewable energy on the climate. So yeah, solar energy and climate change are two things that go together because solar does not pollute the environment, but instead it conserves the environment and allows for many other things to actually flourish in terms of farming, in terms of less floods and more wildlife around that. But if it's any other form of energy, of course, you expect that there's going to be a lot of machinery, a lot of noise pollution, and so much more. So, solar energy is one of the options for reducing future greenhouse gas emissions. So, you need to be a part of the show as much as possible in order for you to, get an understanding of what we're sharing here on Money FM, your business talk radio station. Join us on 0771 and I would love to hear from you and your views. My name is Buchizia. So, solar energy is one of the options for reducing future greenhouse gas emissions, and as well as offsetting 50% of all future growth in thermal electricity generation by voltaics as well. So, this would reduce annual global carbon dioxide emission from projected increased levels by 10% in 20 years and 32% in 50 years. So several projects are underway worldwide to demonstrate the feasibility of the PV system. The couple of different forms of solar that where solar can be used. Like you heard from our expert, he did share with us that there's various forms and various ways that these that companies are actually attracting solar energy in the various sectors. So he did mention farming for irrigation, or for your pump. He did mention quite a number of businesses that would survive with on solar energy and help the country do even much better in terms of its environmental goals, which have been set both at the COP and at the country level, because we have seen the devastating effects of climate change when we had floods and as well as bad rainfall patterns in certain parts of the country. So this is Money FM, your business talk radio station on 93.7. We take a short break, and when we do come back, we have more conversations with Mr. Christopher Maplanga right here on Money FM. Stay tuned.
For all your property needs, Fair World Property. For all your property needs, Fair World Property. For all your property needs.
Fairworld provides estate agency, property management, property development, consultancy, and all your property needs. Call Fairworld at +260 211 840 225 or email us at admin@fairworldproperties.com or visit our website at www.fairworldzambia.com.
Fairworld, providing complete property solutions.
Fair World Property.
Exciting news for everyone. Invite Money FM for your business launch coverage of events, product or service launch coverage as well. And we will cover all your events. Also invite you to feature on our various platforms as value added. Call our marketing on 0211 252237 or 0970 869436. 93.7 Money FM, your business radio. A business or company does not just grow. It requires you to take it out there for clients to come in. That way, it will grow. Find the right clients and right people to give your business the boost it needs by advertising on Money FM. Tell your clients about your business or company. Call our marketing on 0211 252237 or 0970 869436. Think business. Advertise with us.
Because Kalish is as reliable as a Toyota.
Era Justin, gweleko kabia hapo wewe.
Wagamba. Hapa nilipe maafu.
Iwe. Gari ulipe maafu. Ni